I would say I have two favorite books. One was The Puppet Wrangler, just because I really started on a whim. I wasn't one of those people who grew up always wanting to write a book. So I didn't have any of that pressure that comes from that. Instead, I just sat down and wrote this book, and I had so much fun because, like I say, all my life I'd been a writer, but I'd always written for somebody else. I'd always had a boss. I'd always had a deadline. I always had a certain length I had to write to, characters I had to write to. And here, for the first time in my life, I could just write whatever I wanted. And so it opened this door for me. It really changed my life. It didn't change my financial situation for the better. maybe I shouldn't like it as much as I did. But and then, as far as really enjoying writing a book, I really enjoyed the process of Not Suitable for Family Viewing. Writing a mystery is there's an intellectual side to creating the puzzle that I really enjoyed. You know, finding that balance between too obvious and too hidden. You know, and so what I want people to do when they finish reading one of my mysteries, when they see the solution, is to have that moment where it's kind of like, oh, you know, like a kind of a predictable surprise. Like I want them to have a moment of shock, but then all the pieces fall in place for them, as opposed to either having figured it out at page 20 or having that feeling they've been robbed at the end because, come on, the bus driver, we only saw the bus driver once, you know, how could he have done it, right?
Yeah.
And so trying to get that balance was, I enjoyed that process. So, and then books I would say that there isn't one of my books that I couldn't pick up and open to a page and cover my face with my hands, thinking, "What was I thinking? Why didn't I take that word out? Or why, or that's lumpy, or that's, or that's a stupid scene, or But the other thing for me too, and I guess for all young adult or children's authors, is unlike other authors, we're writing for an audience that isn't ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so it's not until the book is out there that I know what works. And it's really good for me to go to schools and read, because I'll read a passage that I'm thinking is hilarious, and there'll be stony silence. And then I'll read something else and the kids will laugh. And in fact, in Dead End Job, there's this one line, it's describing the stalker, before you know he's a stalker. And I say something like, he's skinny and something, and he could have used a shave too. The kids always laugh at that. I'm like, he could have used a shave? That's funny? Who knew? Anyway, so that's, I would say, the sequel to Pig Boy which is a Currents book, it's called Hold the Pickles, and I kind of, when I got the finished book back, I squirmed a bit with it, but I just found out it got nominated for it. So I don't know, Yeah. That wouldn't be my favorite book.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But
clearly it's making some people laugh.
It's working for somebody.
Yeah.
I'd rather it works. No, I don't know. I'd rather we're both happy, frankly.